one of the best in your field?
It is quite an honor, to be honest. I know we definitely get a lot of calls from people that have looked at our reviews on there.
What local trends are you seeing in the real estate market in Winnipeg?
Early in the week, buyers to go see it later that week, just that kind of stuff.
How does it make you feel to be listed on ThreeBestRated and be called as one of the best in your field?
It is quite an honor, to be honest. I know that they have multiple points of inspection, which include reviews, but also kind of overall website, how you put yourself out there, your communication, your availability. So it truly is an honor because it feels like they've really looked at our business and deemed us worthy of this amazing award.
Please share how ThreeBestRated has helped your business grow.
Well, we definitely get a lot of calls from people that have looked at our reviews on there, have kind of landed on our website as a result. So I do find that people give a lot of weight to that. Also, having only 3 options, like them narrowing it down for people, that analysis paralysis has been removed from it. And now they've done all of that legwork for you. You have 3 good solid options in Winnipeg. So I really think it adds a lot of credibility to our business, so I appreciate that.
What are the most sought after neighborhoods in Winnipeg?
I would say the popular ones for sure would be Riverview, kind of downtown core, really nice community surrounded by green space. River Heights for sure is always incredibly popular. And then for people that are looking kind of for new construction options, maybe outside of kind of the downtown core, like Sage Creek has been really popular lately, even parts of Bridgewater too.
Can you share a recent success story from a sale in Winnipeg?
Okay, so we have been in a seller's market for quite some time. So every sale, you kind of, like, in all honesty, you kind of look like a hero right now. You're listing it, it's selling quickly, oftentimes for over list price. But the ones I'm most proud of are those ones where I got to be a little bit more involved in the process, helping sellers kind of jump over some hurdles, perhaps navigate some difficult situations. Those are always my favorite. So we've had a few of those recently, some to do, to be honest, with like permits, missing permits, and helping them navigate that process without putting themselves in harm's way. So.
What local trends are you seeing in the real estate market in Winnipeg?
Local trends would definitely be we're in a strong seller's market. It's very cyclical, so it's not uncommon for a listing to come out early in the week, buyers to go see it later that week, decide if they're offering early the following week, and kind of do that cycle over and over again until they find a house weekly. We're seeing multiple offers. We're seeing people anticipating to be in bidding war scenarios. We're seeing very, very quick cycles in which you don't have a lot of time to make decisions, particularly if you're a buyer. So it's a lot of just getting buyers up to speed and being ready and comfortable in the decisions they're making.
How do you stay updated with the latest industry trends?
Well, there's a lot of ways, but honestly, being in the field on the front line with buyers and sellers, I think, is the primary way to stay up to date on the local market. I always like to watch trends coming out of other cities, though, like Toronto and BC, Calgary too lately. Like, they're always the extremes. So like you kind of get tales of caution or an inkling of what might be coming to Winnipeg from some of those cities. But like, in all honesty, real estate is hyper local. So it's really knowing what's going on in your own individual market, and honestly just going through daily sales, having those conversations too with fellow realtors as to what they're seeing, being involved in various boards, that also gives you a good insight as to what's going on. There's a lot of ways to have your finger on the pulse.
What made you decide to start a real estate business in Winnipeg?
In Winnipeg, it's a market of stability. We don't have those extreme highs, extreme lows that you see in other major markets. Like, we are a consistently stable market. For the last 50 years, our property values have gone up here. Nothing crazy where you see like that 20% increase so year over year, like Toronto and BC. But in those last 50 years where things have gone upright, I shouldn't say it was an entirely straight line. There were 3 years in which property values did not go up here, but the year following it rebounded and surpassed the drop it might have had, or the flat line. So it's a very stable market to invest in. It's also an incredibly affordable market to invest in. We're always about half of the national average, our average house price here. So it's a nice market for people to get into and kind of have that confidence in.
What advice would you give someone buying their first home in Winnipeg?
Buying their first home, in all honesty, it's all about education. So first of all, first step is getting your pre-approval, knowing what a realistic budget is. I find oftentimes if people don't start there, they either severely overestimate what they're able to afford, and then once the process begins, it's quite a shock. Just because, like, with stress tests and everything, like, you don't know where you're going to be pre-approved. Also saving for that down payment. I am hearing more and more now, like, things are getting more expensive. Inflation was on the rise. It's coming under control now, but life in general is expensive. So knowing how much of a down payment you need to have saved to afford all of the things that come with buying a home, right? It's not just your 5% down payment, it's your closing costs too. So honestly, having that information up front is so important. That's usually the first hurdle. The next hurdle really is just getting connected with a real estate professional that is willing to advise on the process itself and make sure that you are well informed when making any decision. It's also important to be comfortable in asking the questions. Like, this is a huge purchase. If you still have questions after signing an offer, then that's not okay. Like, you need to know what you're getting into, and a good real estate professional is going to take the time to make sure and not feel frustrated when you've asked them the 101 questions or 102, right? Like, it's to make sure that you are comfortable and not rushed in the process so that you don't end up regretting a decision you've made, because it's a big one, and it's not an easy thing to undo either if you made an error. So taking the time, feeling comfortable in your decision so that when you do see the right house, you are comfortable in writing that offer.
What's the most unusual request you've ever received from a client?
Unusual? There's a lot of unusual things. There's unique things that go with every property. Almost always something that has to do with a rural property, but off the top of my head, it would honestly be when a client asked me to write. She already knew the house she wanted to buy. She just wanted somebody to help her with writing the contract, and it involved a horse and describing a horse in a contract and making sure it was included in the sale. So, and I have negotiated for a dog before too. So I guess livestock, animals, that kind of stuff.
On behalf of myself and the team, we just wanted to say
Thank you.